Hey, we are live. Good morning. Welcome to Get Off Our Lawns. I'm your host, Rick in Indianapolis. Trent is in Greenville, Ohio. Good to see you this morning, Trent.
Good morning.
And good morning, Mr. Mahmood. How are you this morning?
Morning, gentlemen. I'm good. I'm great. Had a great weekend.
Good. And of course, Thanksgiving is just 3 days away. We're already working on our appetites, getting ready to gorge ourselves. And today we're going to be talking about all of our favorite or not so favorite Thanksgiving foods. Trent, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, and I encourage people, when you're going back and watching through this, leave some comments. I'd love to get a discussion going on amazing Thanksgiving foods and overrated Thanksgiving foods. If you're watching, let's leave your feedback. We want to know what people think because not everyone's a fan of turkey. Some people have ham. Some people get pizza. So I want to hear everyone's thoughts on Thanksgiving foods. I wouldn't even be opposed to just having a completely alternate year, like tacos on Thanksgiving. I could be down for that.
That sounds fantastic.
But I could have tacos any day. So
not just on Tuesday.
Yeah, doesn't have to be on Tuesday. Thursday starts with a T also. It's fine. All right, so let's start at the top. Turkey.
For me, I don't hate turkey, but I don't love it either. It's just kind of there. I'll tell you what, I do love leftover cold turkey sandwiches. Just a slice of turkey breast, some mayo, a leaf of lettuce, and white bread. To me, that trumps Thanksgiving Day turkey fresh out of the oven 100%.
I like that. Yeah, the next day turkey. Mahmood, you gave 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, turkey is the main thing for me. I eat more turkey than anything else. I eat the beans and the maybe dessert, but turkey is what I start with.
Have either of you had the deep fried turkey?
I don't think so.
That sounds very American, though.
I'm sure it tastes really good. Fried is.
It's got that wonderful crust on it, like fried chicken. If you do it right. But we very seldom have that. I've had it maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, but I prefer it over oven baked or oven broiled turkey.
Right. Yeah.
How about you guys?
Used to be done outdoor though, right? Frying it
outdoors. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
You have a rocket situation on your hands.
So Trent, when we're talking about turkey, dark or white meat?
I do both. I prefer the dark, but I like to get a little bit of both. And what I usually do is turkey is kind of my all day food. And so I will walk if I'm feeling a little peckish, I will walk through the kitchen, grab some turkey. And it's just I don't think I ever have more protein in my life than on Thanksgiving Day.
I do the same thing. That's the thing I nibble on all day. It's just more turkey. And then just like Rick said, the next day, it kind of tastes even better because it sits and all the ingredients marry better. And it can make a mean turkey sandwich the next day.
How about you, Mahmood? Dark or white meat, or do you have a preference?
Dark, but I don't mind white. Unless it's really, really dry, then I can't show it. But yeah, I don't mind. I lean towards dark meat, but I don't mind white meat.
But you're right.
I prefer dark. I prefer the legs and the wings. I learned something interesting when I was researching for this week's podcast. You know what state produces more turkeys than any other state in the United States?
I don't.
Minnesota. They produce 80% of the turkeys consumed in the United States. Oh, that really kind of surprised me with them being, a very cold state, but I'm sure they raise them in heated barns and so on. But Minnesota.
80% of the country's supply of turkey comes from Minnesota?
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Turkey and collegiate wrestling. That's what Minnesota is known for.
Yeah, so if you're eating turkey this Thanksgiving, more likely it's from Minnesota.
It is. It is. You know, the Butterball has that 1-800 number you can call on Thanksgiving Day if you're having issues. I wonder how many people actually call that.
I bet a lot.
It would be interesting if they had some recordings of the calls.
Yeah,
You know
maybe
who
after
calls
the
it?
fact. I don't think anyone reads it before.
Right.
Everyone probably, the majority probably read it after the fact,
Mhm.
after something really bad happens.
This girl right here, she calls it.
My turkey's up in flames. How can I save it?
All right, I'm going to move on to a controversial one. You guys ready? I mean,
Yes.
it's number 2, and we're hitting some controversy right now.
Uh-oh.
Cranberry sauce.
I love cranberry sauce, and I realize I'm in the minority, but I prefer the cranberry sauce that comes out in one giant tube out of a can. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I've had real cranberry sauce with the berries in it, but I love that jelly processed stuff out of a can for some reason.
Wow. Okay. Mahmood?
Yeah, it's fine. What do you guys have the cranberry sauce with? That's what I want to know.
I just eat it by itself.
Okay.
I think it's meant to be eaten by itself, but it's a hard pass from me. I enjoy
Really?
a lot of things with cranberries in it, but not the sauce.
I've had it. I've had cranberry sauce, but I don't think it's stuck with me. I mean, I don't mind it.
Trent, you don't like it? Is it a taste thing or a texture thing or a combination of both?
I can get past the texture, but it's just a taste thing. It's just my taste buds, they're just do not like it. But I mean, it's weird. Like I hit my mid-30s and my taste buds have been changing. So I'll give it another shot this year. Maybe I'll like it.
Usually I would have it with dessert. Like usually there's a pie or whatever, and I just like eat it with it. But I agree with you, Trent. Like it's not my thing because it's a little overwhelming. Like sometimes it can be super sweet.
A slice of pie with some cranberry sauce on top of it sounds amazing.
What kind of pie?
I've never heard of that. Now I've got to try it.
Or maybe if there's like a cheesecake, someone brought in cheesecake, or there's usually like 5 or 6 pies in there. So
okay.
I'll just put it with one of them, and yeah, it is good, but it's just like that after feeling, like oh my gosh, like it still tastes the sweetness, like the entire palate is overwhelmed with sugar.
And I think too, like there's only so much you can eat in one day, and so like. I just don't see it breaking my top 5, you know?
I love it. I think I could survive on cranberry sauce.
The can one, the tube.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
And this is why we do this, all the differing opinions. I love it.
Right.
All right, so here, and this is very much, I think this is very much depends on where you grew up. Because I've spent some Thanksgivings in the South, and the answer there is different than the answer here. But sweet potato casserole, number 1, yay or nay, and number 2, is it main course or dessert?
Oh wow! So it's a yay for me. I like the sweetness, and so the sweet potato casserole that I'm familiar with has like those dried onions on top of it. You know what I'm talking about? The crunchy stuff.
I haven't had it that way. I usually have it with marshmallows on top.
I have seen it.
The one I usually had is like candied walnuts or pecans or something, like some kind of nut, caramel nut on top.
Right. I think it's a main course. It's a side dish to go with the turkey because it's sweet, but it's not sweet and like a cake or a pie.
Right. How about you, Mahmood?
For me, it's yay, but it's more like a dessert. Like I would have it with. But I think it's the way it's prepared. I think the majority of the family that I spend Thanksgiving with, they prepare it kind of as a dessert. It always has some kind of caramelized crust on it or some kind of nut on top. So I don't know. I've eaten it a lot with whipped cream. So that tells you where it stands.
That sounds interesting too. With whipped cream on top of it. I've never heard of that. So for me, a lot of food is texture. and sweet potatoes, if they're cooked too long, can get really mushy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, the topping with something crunchy, whether it's nuts or the fried onions or whatever, I think really, really makes it palatable for me. But if it's just the potatoes, they're a little too mushy for my preference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to starches. And maybe not a yay or nay, but favorite. Favorite Thanksgiving starch.
Wow.
Whether it be mashed potatoes, cheesy potatoes, I'll even throw in macaroni and cheese. Just kind of lump this category together. What are you going with here? If you got to pick one, mashed potatoes, cheesy potatoes, mac and cheese, or is there another kind of potato you all have?
Yeah, for me, it's cheesy potatoes or I usually get like 3 starches. That's a problem. I get mashed potatoes. I get cheesy potatoes. What else? No stuffing for me. Mashed potatoes, cheesy potatoes. What's the other one? The beef noodles. The noodles
the beef noodles.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those I can't stop.
I completely forgot about those until just now, and now I'm hungry.
It makes your plate all like saucy and messy, and you don't know which one what is what.
I love the beef noodles. That's one of those ultimate comfort foods, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That probably a lot of us that grew up in the Midwest or in the South probably grew up with in the near South. But I'm a big fan also, like Mahmoud said, of the cheesy potatoes. I love that cheese and potato combination. I think that's a really, the flavors really complement each other. Someplace I was at one time had cheesy potatoes, but not made with like American cheese, but they had made it with Gouda, which gave it a really almost a pungent taste. It was really, really good.
Gouda would go so well on cheesy potatoes.
Oh my gosh. I've only seen that once or twice.
I've never thought of that before, but yeah, they would be made for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of potatoes, I mean, I'm probably in Mahmoud's boat where I've probably got mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, mashed potatoes, like all on one plate. So, but the mashed potatoes have gravy on them, which leads me to my next question. What all gets gravy on your plate?
What the question cut off a little bit. What is it? What is the question again?
What all gets gravy on your plate?
Usually I don't do gravy. It's just
no
the
gravy
noodles.
For Mahmoud.
Yeah, I make the
keep
noodles.
That figure in check.
Yeah, the sauce from the beefy noodles just gets everything taken care of. I don't do gravy.
So for me, it goes on the turkey and it goes on the mashed potatoes, and that's it. Unfortunately, the majority of the gravy ends up on my shirt. So I always have to take a change of clothes when I go someplace for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the risk you take on Thanksgiving. It's expected almost. It's encouraged. It's like burping in France. It's like a sign of a good meal. So.
I didn't know that was a thing in France. It sounds like I need to move to France.
I think it's being sarcastic because it's frowned upon to burp in the French culture.
That was like a really, really old school thing.
It's actually equivalent to tooting the other end.
All right, so let's go vegetable. If you have to pick a favorite vegetable, and then also part 2 of this is, do salads belong at Thanksgiving? So favorite vegetable, and then do salads belong?
Salads do belong. That's kind of like what you want to start with. I try to force myself to start with something green and then dig into the other stuff. It just gives a good foundation. Do I want it? No, definitely not. Not when you're staring at other more tempting stuff. But
right, because it's like the ultimate cheat day, right?
It is
absolutely. But yeah, you want to have something green on there for sure. What was the other leg of the question?
It was favorite vegetable and do salads belong?
Yeah, salads kind of do belong. You don't want them, but you kind of need them. and dang it, I keep forgetting the other part of the
Favorite
question.
vegetable.
Favorite vegetable, anything with cheese on it, like Brussels sprouts, cheese, broccoli, cheese, beans, cheese, anything with cheese. Yeah.
So I would say, salads. I like starting off with a cold green salad. I think it sets your palate for the rest of the meal. Favorite vegetable, absolutely green bean casserole. It's not a vegetable by itself, but that would absolutely be the green bean casserole. But I do like broccoli with cheese as long as it's done kind of al dente, as long as it's not mushy.
Oh, so crunchy.
Yeah, can't stand the mushy broccoli. Ugh.
My wife makes like the best green beans I've ever had in my life. Like I actually look forward to. We do our own little thing at night. Like we kind of start decorating for Christmas at night on Thanksgiving, and we have our own little Thanksgiving meal. And it starts with bacon. And whenever you start with bacon, like that's when you know it's going to be great. So like you put some cut up bacon in the Dutch oven, and then you remove the bacon, and then you throw in the onions, and then you get those onions caramelizing in the bacon grease, and there you go.
I love bacon and green beans together. Oh my gosh, it's the perfect combination.
Yeah. So let's move on to dessert. Unless is there something I have not mentioned that's just one of your staples, main course staple that I haven't mentioned?
So I would like to hear you all's opinion. I don't think we've mentioned dressing or stuffing.
Oh yeah.
So I am not a fan of either one. And matter of fact, I only learned this week. Do you know what the difference, or last week? Do you know what the difference is between dressing and stuffing?
I thought it was the same thing.
Stuffing goes inside the bird. Dressing is cooked outside the bird.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I had no idea. Somebody said that, and I'm like, oh, I don't believe you. And I started looking it up, and it's true. So I am not a fan of either one. I feel like, and for me, it's largely a texture thing. How about you, Mahmood? Dressing or stuffing?
Same thing. Yeah, I definitely gave it a shot or a few shots. Like I tried it over and over and over, different recipes, just so I'm not fooling myself. But it just didn't pass the litmus test. It still tasted like soggy bread.
Yes,
I can't do that.
How about you, Trent?
I didn't like it until, and I hope I don't offend anyone with this. I don't think any of my family watches anyway. But, I did not like stuffing or dressing or whatever. I think it was typically prepared outside the bird. And I found out I don't like that. Until we started having our own little Thanksgiving at like Thursday night. My goodness, and I obviously am married to a great cook, but Anna makes this stuffed turkey breast on Thanksgiving night. That is just incredible. And I literally did not like it until I tried that.
So does she stuff it? She stuffs something inside the turkey breast. Is that right?
Yeah. And she cuts slits in it, and then she puts it in the slits, and it's just what you get afterwards between the turkey and the stuffing is just this flavor explosion.
That sounds interesting.
It's if you cut the slits and put the stuffing in and all that, it creates the juiciest turkey breast you've ever had in your life.
Interesting. And what time is dinner on Thanksgiving evening?
Well, we usually have 2 Thanksgivings that day, so usually around 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. So let's go on to desserts then. I'm going to go with another controversy. I think this is on the same level as candy corn, and that is pumpkin pie.
I love me some pumpkin pie. It's got to have whipped cream on it, but I do love me some pumpkin pie, and I like it when it's got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of kick to it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like pumpkin pie, but it's not like my my favorite. Usually there are other competitors that are, like the what is it? The ice box, I think is what it's called. It's like a pineapple pie, but it's cold. It serves cold. I think it's called an ice box or something like that. That one, it's got like coconut, pineapple, a ton of whipped cream on top. So it's all fluffy. That one usually captures my attention before anything else. But
Okay.
What is it called?
We're getting confirmation here.
Oh, it's
Yes.
a secret family recipe, apparently. You guys know
Oh.
about it. It just
I've
shows
never
up.
heard of that. It sounds amazing.
We'll hit the rewind button.
Coconut pineapple ice box. It's a pie served cold, and it's got a lot of whipped cream in the middle. If you're into pineapple and coconut, then you would like it.
It sounds really good. I've never had anything like it on Thanksgiving before, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that one.
It does sound fantastic. And I think, I think a fruit dessert after a heavy meal of turkey and all that really is something spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take you guys to get to the dessert after the meal?
Actually, that's a good question, because I do try to have like 2 helpings of the actual meat and potatoes before I jump into dessert. Other than the icebox, what captures my attention usually is the Buckeyes.
Oh,
There's
Buckeyes.
Oh, those
big
are
Buckeyes
so
with
good.
peanut butter. Yeah, I just pop them. Every time I pass, I just pop one.
It's important to eat a couple Buckeyes, especially with it being Ohio State Michigan week.
Yep.
I mean, you got to get those Buckeyes in.
The spirit.
I kind of forgot about those, but those are spectacular. I love those.
Mm-hmm. There's some big hitters in the family when it comes to cookies too, like the chocolate chip cookies. There's a couple of aunts that bring some killer chocolate chip cookies. Really good stuff. So I probably have a couple of those.
So I found a new cookie this weekend. We played music for a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Metamora, Indiana, Saturday night, and people brought cookies. And somebody down there made a cookie called coffee caramel that had caramel like nuggets in it, and somehow used coffee in the batter. It was amazing. I've never heard of anything like it. We brought some home. They're so good.
We were in Indianapolis this weekend. We went and saw Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, yes.
And it was a great show. And then on the way back, we stopped at Crumble Cookie. Are you guys
Yes.
familiar with Crumble Cookie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got 4 giant cookies. Those things are just out of this world. Have you had a Crumble Cookie, Trent?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you should find it next time. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Are we going to get a show and tell? Are we going to get a cookie show and tell here?
I think he's going to eat
very
it in front
excited.
It's like, but this one's empty. It's got nothing in it, just some crumbs. There were 4 giant cookies in there at some point.
That's the best part, the crumbs.
Yeah, really, really good. I think it's a business that started in Utah, like a Mormon business. And they just have amazing cookies. Specials like every week, cookie of the week, cookie of the month. I've had this key lime cookie when I was in Utah.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not even a fan of key lime. It's not my top 5. And it was the best I've ever had. Even better than some of the key lime pies I've had. And it was just
Nice.
a cookie with the icing on top, a little wedge of lime in there. They go all out with the cookie.
People are getting fancy with their desserts.
Oh yeah. Really good.
All right, so football or no football on Thanksgiving, and can you stay awake through an entire game?
That's interesting because for me, yes, football, but what I'm usually watching are family members because they're more entertaining than the actual game. Some of them are Ohio State, some of them are Michigan, and it's just funny to see them roast each other and pick on each other, and so it's like half and half. You're watching the game, but you're also watching the trash talking, and that's what makes the fun of it.
Yeah, I'm not really a football fan. I love baseball, but generally I'm not a huge sports fan. So there's usually a game on wherever we are for Thanksgiving, but I'm not really paying much attention to it. I'm paying much more attention to the back of my eyelids.
Well, that's great about not being a huge football fan is you can sit down and go right to sleep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Until somebody scores a touchdown, then the whole room erupts.
Well,
You're right.
dude,
A lot of people pass out.
I have some trash talk for you. Okay. This is as of today, so it'll be different by Saturday. But it's been 3,648 days since Michigan last beat Ohio State in football.
Holy crap.
3,648 days.
Man, that hurts.
I had no idea.
And looking, if we just use Michigan State as a barometer,
Right.
it's looking like Michigan doesn't stand a chance again this year.
Wow. Don't tell Chris that. Chris not gonna like it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys watch the parades on Thanksgiving morning?
I do not.
We're usually in Versailles, Ohio, so I don't. Do we have a parade? I don't think so. No.
I think he's talking about the Macy's Day.
Yeah, like the Macy's parade on the
television.
television.
That one. No. There's usually a huge schedule, family activities, games and stuff. So it's like it's packed. There's no time for that.
People have tried. There is no convincing me that watching a parade can be entertaining.
Yeah, they're fun to be at in person. I love being in person at one, but I agree on the television. By the way, did you know that in the very early days, like the 1930s of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, they actually cut the balloons loose and let them soar away at the end of the parades and then gave a reward to those that found them.
That can be dangerous because those floats are gigantic.
Right. They weren't nearly as...
I could see some woke people having a field day with that.
Yeah, now this was, 90 years ago when they weren't nearly as big. And the reward was a whopping $25.
$25 to find.
I don't know what $25 would have been in 1930s, compared to today.
Yeah. 30s probably a lot.
Yeah, probably was a significant amount of money.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. It's been entertaining to hear different thoughts on all these foods. I will leave you all with one thing here. On our way out, let's talk about Thanksgiving etiquette. You got aunts, you got uncles, you have grandmas there. They all bring their signature dishes that they worked hard on. How do you make sure? Is there a plan in place to make sure that every dish has a little bit taken out of it?
That's a great point. Well, you don't want anybody. You mentioned this in the pre-show. You don't want anybody going home with a full dish thinking nobody will like that. So I usually give a few bites to the dog wherever I'm at.
You gotta take a little spoonful, scoop it in the trash there.
That's right. That's right.
Well, for us, there's usually like 70, 80 people. So there's, 25 kids running around. Everything gets eaten. No one gets their feelings hurt because their dish didn't get touched.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. Let us know next week how it went.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, guys.
See ya.